said, are you a psycho?
Hang on, and what did you say? Can I turn down my music?
I've asked you many
Did
times
you not do-
politely.
So?
So what, you just think it's
So?
okay to say no? This
Yes,
is a public
yes,
place.
I can. It's my...
So living in modern society, we as men have grown accustomed to seeing women do things like this.
Say, can I turn down my music?
I've asked you many
Did
times
you not do-
politely.
So?
So what, you just think it's
So?
okay to say no? This
Yes,
is a public
yes,
place.
I can. It's my phone.
But it's
in
a
my
public
ears.
space. And I'm asking you,
It's in my ear.
there
It's in
are
my
no
ears.
issues.
You know what?
So they're fighting over music, but it's not really important what they're fighting over. What's more important is that these are two women in public, and they're verbally attacking each other. And this used to be more a rare sight than it is now, but we see it becoming more and more common probably by the day. And this is certainly one of the tamer fights that you'll find on social media or out in public. Or I don't call it fight, I call it confrontation. But there's a time when ladies were thought not to act like this in public. So what I want to do is I want to kind of breach that subject, and then I want to show you why the cover art for this video was what it was. So I want to define the word dainty, which means if you describe a movement, person, or object as dainty, you mean that they are small, delicate, and pretty. The girls were dainty and feminine. She walked daintily down the steps. So synonyms: delicate, pretty, charming, fine. Okay. Now, in our current day society, for whatever reason, we don't get to see dainty very often. So what I wanted to do is I want to go back in history and show you an example of what dainty looks like.
Mr. Andridge, you're not going to desert the musical shows altogether, are you?
You mean musical films?
Musical films, yes.
No, I just want to do good pictures. They can be musicals with not as meaty a dramatic role as maybe what I would like, as long as it's a good picture. You can't always expect to get a picture that has many dimensions, such as the one that I've done.
Okay, so the first thing you'll notice is that she's very, very soft-spoken. She's very soft-spoken. She is not demonstratives in her hand gestures. And you can look at the posture. You can look at her eye contact. She has been, well practiced in not only how to carry herself, but how to come off as very feminine, very soft. Continuing.
Turned down two roles, Aida Goldfarb and Rigoletto O'Brien. Why did you turn them down?
Well, actually, I feel that the next picture that I do should be completely different, as far as is possible, from the one that I did, from Tom and Jones.
Have you been reading any scripts of...
Yeah, so you can see she's very composed, and I think it's really interesting to watch her because she doesn't need to speak loud. She doesn't need to be demonstrative. Like, she doesn't need to prove that she's strong and all of this other stuff. She's just, this is me, and I want you guys to see that this is how I talk. And it's a kind of a lost art, to be honest with you. I'll let you listen to a little bit more because it's almost over.
New shows that you might be interested in?
Well, I'm having one script sent to me from Mr. Zanuck. I have a contract at 20th Century Fox Studios for one picture a year.
Well, you've heard from Zanuck. Have you heard from the Palladium?
Well, as a matter of fact, I have heard from the Palladium. I'm going to be there even just for one night, which is kind of a thrill for me. This is on the 29th. I'm going to do a television show from the Palladium.
Sunday night?
Yeah, so I wanted to show you an example of what dainty looks like because it is not loud, it is not powerful, it's not strong and independent. It's soft, it's inviting, let's put it this way. No man in his right mind would attack this woman physically, because even the guy interviewing her, even in these times where white and black men or white and black people were not getting along as well as they are now, if you want to say that, but even in this situation, if a guy walked in and tried to attack this woman, it would be a natural reflex for even the guy that's doing the interviewing to protect her. So I want to show you a contrast, and then I want to show you exactly why this is it's such a threat to modern women. This is a brief part of an interview from Vivica Fox, and I want you to hear. You can just watch her mannerisms. You can listen to her tone, her word usage, and I want to compare it. So here we go.
Yeah. Updated version of kind of like Jackie Brown. Yeah. Because that would let people see like the raw part of me, and I can still kick your butt. Yeah.
Okay. So now I want you to imagine Dorothy Dandridge saying the same types of words.
Well, as a matter of fact, I have heard from this lady, and I'm going to be there even just for one night, which is kind of a thrill for me. This is on the 29th.
Okay, so you can see the difference, right? You can contrast the differences, because if you notice the even from the tone to the gesturing to the boisterousness of the mannerisms, you notice that there is quite different. So when we go back to the meaning of dainty again, you describe a movement or person as dainty, you mean small, delicate, and pretty. Now, of the two that you saw, it's not as if it's only age that is a determinant in being dainty and small and delicate, but we can definitely see that there's the contrast is clear. You can see it clearly. Now, for the problem that I think that modern women should really be worried about. And it's this lady.
I want to say thank you to all of the women that showed interest in being my husband's third wife. Thank you so much, mashallah. We got
okay, no, but aside from the fact that she's campaigning for her husband and a third wife, that's, I can't imagine a woman doing that for me, but maybe someday it's possible, or maybe it will be the case. But look at her smile. Look at her face. Her face is lit up. She's not yelling. She's not demonstrative. Look at it.
a great large amount of women. I didn't expect it. It's taking a lot of time. I'm going through the list. I'm going to pick a few, and then I'm going to present them to my husband, and inshallah we'll go from there. So be patient with us. I promise we will respond to all of you, and thank you so much. I'm excited to meet you, inshallah. I want to say thank you to all of the women that showed interest in being my husband's third wife.
At the music, you can see, I mean, come on, look. Now, most of us Western guys, we have gotten away from the idea that women are dainty, because in modern society, women are so steadily trying to prove that they're equal to men that they just say, oh, I don't need to be dainty anymore. But then when you see dainty as a guy, as a man, you have a kind of a visceral reaction to it, like, whoa, women act like that? And it's true. It's something that we when we see it, it reminds us of something that we maybe want innately. And here's the difference between sexy and dainty. Sexy is what you want to conquer. You want to conquer sexy. But dainty, you want to protect dainty. And with this Passport Bros movement, this is the first time a lot of guys have actually considered, you know what? I don't know if I want to hook my finances and financial future and my legacy in terms of my children to someone because they're really sexy. Even if they're super sexy, if they're masculine or they're aggressive, maybe that's not the best idea. Maybe it's dainty and feminine that's more important than the sexual features that generally get black men to run after a woman. So I would say this. I think that for men, I would say that maybe sexy is not nearly as important as dainty and feminine. And the more I look around the world, I see men of traditional nature. They marry the dainty and the feminine, and they fun and games. That's for the other ones. That's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later, guys.